welcome to Wetpixel Live. My name is Adam Hanlon. I'm the Wetpixel. I'd like to welcome you all. I'd like to thank today Aquatica. Aquatica have sponsored today's episode. Their website is aquatica.ca. Please head on over. They've got a great range of housings, arms, ports and accessories for underwater photographers. I'm truly overjoyed today to introduce you to Ellen Cuylaerts, who, when we discussed how I should introduce her, she said I should just introduce her as Ellen from Belgium. But she's a bit more than that. She's a very, very accomplished underwater photographer. She's an advocate for the Marine Kingdom, and perhaps in the light of what we're talking about today, she's also curator of the UN World Oceans Day photography competition. So welcome, Ellen.
Hi, Adam. Nice to see you.
It's lovely to see you too. Obviously, it's World Oceans Day today, the 8th of June 2021, and it's a very, very exciting day. Lots going on. Obviously, you're right in the middle of it, Ellen, so thank you so much for giving us your time to chat to us. And I thought I'd start off really by asking a little bit is what is World Oceans Day? I think most of us have a general idea, but what is it? What's going on? What's it about? Where does it come from?
Okay, well, World Oceans Day is actually a day to celebrate the oceans and what they give to us, and how we can take care of them. And the day was established in 2009, was the first one, and it was decided in 2008 by the General Assembly of the United Nations. But actually the origins are way before that. In 1992, it was a woman who actually, at the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, which was an event parallel with the UN event. So it was an event where people from non-governmental bodies could attend and NGOs. And Judith Swan, she said, well, we have this connection with the ocean and we all feel good about being in the ocean, but we don't actually take care of the ocean. So why don't we celebrate the oceans one day? And actually that resonated with the UN. And so in 2008, they decided to have this designated day on June 8th. And the first one was in 2009. And 20 years later, they celebrated actually the day and the resolutions for the Sustainable Goal 14. So it's like a nice history. Of course, in my opinion, I think every day should be World Oceans Day, but it's very nice to be able to tell the story about how our lives depend on the ocean. So if we don't take care of them, our future generations will not be on this blue, beautiful planet anymore, because the planet would not be habitable anymore. Yes.
And I think this is, I agree with you. Every day should be a World Ocean Day. Of course it should. And I'm sure the majority of the Wetpixel community are probably active, not just on one day. But I still think these things are powerful reminders. Having a specific day and a specific occasion is a really powerful way of making us think for that day about it. We all have lots going on. We all have lots of other things going on, and I think it does have real value and real resonance. It's really good. And obviously we're in the decade for sustainable development is the official phrase, isn't it? So we're officially in it now. So that's now till
2030.
2030. Last year. Yeah, being a decade, of course, it'll be 10 years. Sorry, you have to forgive me. My maths is not a strong point. And so we're in the middle of that. Obviously, that's very much involved with oceans and conservation of the ocean. So there's obviously lots going on today. What are some of the highlights, Helen? You kindly dug some stuff out for us, I think.
Yeah. So every year, UN World Oceans Day chooses a theme, and in the past it has been sustainable development for the ocean, gender and oceans, which was really, really interesting. A clean ocean, our oceans, our future. And this year it is ocean, life and livelihoods. Wow. So actually to highlight that we all depend on the oceans. And there was a beautiful actually teaser, a movie, which was narrated by Sylvia Earle, and she explains it so beautifully. She actually puts her finger on the wound, but also gives a bit of hope. So the day is it's in again Oceanic Global, who is the strategic partner and who is actually making sure that the whole day goes smoothly. It's the second year we have a virtual event, and actually it's kind of good because everybody can access the talks, panels, the discussions. There's some really interesting ones. For example, Jean-Michel Cousteau will talk about the ocean connection. Then we have Oceanic Discoveries, where one of the guests on the panel is Brian Scarry, who is actually, now has a lot of extra attention. He's an amazing photographer. I'm his biggest fan. But he filmed, photographed The Secret of the Whales, and it's now on Disney Plus. So it's very nice to have him on one of the panels. Another one panel discussion is Faces of the Sea, where you have people that really rely on the oceans talking about what it means to them. And it goes from people in Malaysia, a fishing community, to a person, an owner of a Relais Chateau hotel. Wow. So it's really all different kind of peoples. It's not just the people that we all look at livelihood, fishermen, but it's not just fishermen. It's a lot of people need the ocean for food. A lot of people need the ocean for work opportunities. We all depend on it. And then, of course, all the oxygen, half of the oxygen we breathe comes from the ocean. There's another panel discussion, and there's David Doubelet and Jennifer Hayes. They are presenting their beautiful images with the coral reefs now and then, so that you can see the evolution. So that's an interesting one. And then there's, of course, panels about blue economy with the Janulis, and there's a concert at the end of the day, which is always nice to chill. So tonight, and then it's going to be a very interesting day. And the good thing is you can access the whole day, even the week later, whenever you have time. Watch an hour, watch another hour, and choose your segments. And of course, we have the announcement of the of the winners of the photo competition. So,
most importantly.
yes.
We'll put the link for the activities in the show notes, so please click on there. But just to tease out something that Ellen said, the great thing about these online events, which we're all getting so used to, is that you can watch them in a week's time or 2 weeks' time. So this is it's not only available for one day; it's available for a considerable period. I don't know if it's forever or not, but certainly for a long time. So you can jump on there and watch it at your leisure when you have a moment to watch. I think that's really cool. Actually, it's certainly hopefully I hope in the future when we do come back to meet people in person, I hope that we still have the option of being able to do that, because I think it's a good option.
It's very interesting because before the virtual events, the event was at the UN in 1 year. I was really spoiled and was in the General Assembly, and I was allowed to speak there during the Ocean Conference. And then the year later, it's in a smaller room, but that's where I actually met Judith Swan for the first time. And so it's very interesting, but it's very limited. And I do like now that everybody can be a bigger part of the interesting panels and not just organize their own event, because that's also an important part, that everywhere in the world events are organized. Like the Explorers Club is doing a World Oceans Week with interesting panels. Peace Boat is doing a film festival on the 11th. So it's and then of course in Asia you have beach cleanings, you have movie days. It's everywhere, and you can register the event on the website, so www.unworldoceansday.org, and you can still register events now, because it's nice to have the whole flow of World Oceans Day living for a whole year.
And I was actually just browsing online, as you do, just before we started chatting, and on Facebook, my friends at Fourth Element have just run GUE are running a global cleanup day to day, and our friends at Fourth Element, there was lots of them running around Cornwall picking up rubbish, which is
Yes,
fantastic. And that's what it is. It's a grassroots event. It's local people doing stuff in the local environment. So yeah,
yeah,
fantastic. So anyway, we got sidetracked. Ellen, you mentioned the competition, and obviously this is very much your baby, isn't it?
yeah.
So
It
the
became
results
my
come. Yeah. So the results come out on. The results come out today. Do you know
day
what?
at 40 Eastern Standard Time, I think it is. Yeah,
Say
in
that again,
the US.
Ellen. 3:40 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
12:40.
Sorry. 12
12:40.
12:40. So 12:40 Eastern
Yeah.
Standard Time, the results were announced. I was privileged enough to be a judge on the judging panel last year, and it's a fascinating competition because the majority of photography competitions, and particularly the underwater ones, tend to be very much focused on the image and what you'll see in front of you and its technical merits. Sometimes it's rarity, so on and so forth. But there's particularly behaviours or whatever. What was fascinating about this is that the UN also brings in the idea that the photographer is part of that process as well. And
Yeah.
I love so maybe I should throw it back to you, Ellen. How do you bring the photographer back in as part of the creative process of the competition?
It actually starts with selecting the jury panel, and knowing that they all have a mindset that you rather have a good ethical image than a wonderful technical image where ethics is not in the picture, so
Yeah,
to
sure.
say.
Yeah.
I choose the judges on their actually what they feel and how they communicate, and a bit with their heart. So that's the most important process. And then I tell them that they have to feel the image and not judge like in normal underwater competitions, because it's not just an underwater competition. It's about the oceans.
Yeah.
When the judges feel the images, because the process is very weird sometimes. The first round, there's all these excellent images sometimes, and then I blend them all together again, and then they choose different ones where they go like, well, it might not be the best one, but it evokes this feeling in me. And then I say, well, that's the one that the UN would rather work with, because those images will have a life after the competition, and they get used in documents. They are used to show people that are decision makers what it's all about.
Yeah.
So people that are making decisions about those oceans we so need to protect and are not really related to the oceans, they need to see what is going on. And they just don't need to see like the perfect image of a nudie, but they need to see the whole bigger image and have this emotion of, I want to be there and I want to protect it.
Yeah.
That's actually the goal of the competition, to have, like boring documents have a life, actually. Yeah, a visual on it, what it's all about.
It's like a context, isn't it? It's basically giving the image, not just, we do, and I'm sure this is true for the vast majority of us, is we tend to look at images as just as being an image, and in essence, an image is more than that. It has power, it has meaning, it has context, and okay, we do involve those things. We'll look at an image and it will evoke particular sensations, but I think it's quite unique that your competition, or the UN competition, actually sets out to achieve that, which I think is a fairly unique, and it provides opportunities, I think, for photographers who possibly aren't involved in the mainstream of underwater imaging or imaging in general.
Yeah, it's actually some people, when they see the images, they say, "Oh, I could have won because that's not a special image." Well, enter your image.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What emotion it evokes in people, and maybe you can win. So in that way, it is a unique one, because it's open to everybody. It doesn't matter if it's a shot with a GoPro or with the most advanced camera. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how experienced you are. It doesn't matter where you live. I had a winner from Kenya, a beautiful image, and it's been used on all the social media toolkits for this year's competition, because it's such a strong image of women actually planting rice.
Yeah.
And it's with a bad camera, but it's a beautiful image.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really tells a story, and that's what it's about.
You've got a fantastic judging panel this year, and remind me who's on the panel this year. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it was a very good year, but also a weird year with the availability. The world is opening up again, and people were getting away again unexpectedly, but we pulled it together, and I was very proud to have Jennifer Hayes, National Geo. She was on an assignment unexpectedly, but she did finish the judging, so very grateful for that. Joachim Odelberg, who's a Swedish television personality, a very good photographer, also a conservationist. He's a very good friend of mine. He did an amazing job. We have Ipa Lin Ut, a macro photographer from Malaysia. Yeah, she's a mother of 6.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she's really busy, but she did very well. Michel Strogoff, he was a former shark fisherman, sea cucumber hunter, and he turned into a conservationist and filmmaker. So that was, and he lives in Madagascar. That's the most important part.
Yeah.
From a community really depending on the oceans. And then we had Julian Lennon, who not many people know. So he's a very gifted composer and also a very good photographer. So his eye on those images was very important. And he doesn't shoot with all the technical knowledge, but he just feels, and he has beautiful exhibitions around the world also at the moment. And he always shoots. He grabs the moment that's important, the emotion. That's why he was on the jury, and I really appreciate it because he was very busy.
What a fantastic jury! What an eclectic assortment of people! Fantastic. I mean, I can't wait to see the results. Then very exciting. So that's at 12:40 later today. 12:40. Go onto the UN website. The results will be announced live, so you'll be able to see the images. And really looking forward to that. That'd be great. So for those of us that aren't involved in the competition, Ellen, I think one of the things that certainly the Wetpixel community, and what I encourage the Wetpixel community to do, but hopefully the broader underwater photography community, is, if we don't do it normally, perhaps this is a really, really good day for sharing your images that show the perils of the oceans, possibly, but also its majesty, its splendor, inspire people. And we all have image libraries full of images. This is the day to open up your image library and get out there and share it by whatever channel you choose to share it on. I mean, obviously, the Wetpixel group's a great community to do it, but there's anyway, it doesn't matter. Get your images out there. Get people looking at images of the unsea world, its creatures, and the oceans in general. There is a hashtag, Ellen. So go on. I'll get this wrong. So can you tell us what the hashtag is?
For World Oceans Day, the hashtag is #UN World Oceans Day. Fantastic. And then, of course, you can be very creative and add UN World Oceans Day 2021. Protect what you love. Practice what you preach. Every day should be World Oceans Day. That's my favorite. So be creative, share the love, and and you can also use like #Ocean Life and Livelihoods, because that's this year's theme.
It would be fantastic to kind of have, well, social media obviously is the obvious place, just full of ocean images on today. So please get out there, as I say, open up your image libraries. Use the UN World Oceans Day hashtag, and then it should just be a fantastic display.
Yeah, if you share on Instagram, you can also do UN World Oceans Day, because there is a page, and also Oceanic Global.
So Instagram @UN World Oceans Day and what was the other one, Ellen?
Oceanic Global.
Oceanic Global. Thank you very much. Wonderful. So yeah, please get out there, share those images, dust off those images that you haven't looked at for a while. Get them out there for World Oceans Day. Fantastic. So Ellen, it's been lovely talking to you. I know how busy you are. This is a real busy time for you. So really appreciate you taking the time to come and chat to us.
Thank you, Adam, for having me.
No, it's been great, and obviously we'll catch up with you again, I'm soon shortly about some other issues about environment and some ways that we can go about helping to use imagery to preserve our oceanic environment. So thank you very much, Ellen.
Thank you, Adam, and I'm very happy UN World Oceans Day.
Yes, and a very happy UN World Oceans Day to you too, Ellen. And take care. And I'd like to thank Aquatica again for sponsoring this episode. Really appreciate the support. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please feel free to add any comments in the comment section, or drop us a like if you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you again soon.